Now I will request Dr. Surendra Singh to please resume with the dosage form.
If you just broadly categorize dosage form, it can be a solid dosage form, inhalation form, and semi-solid or liquid dosage form, broadly classified. And if you see a solid dosage form, it can be used either for internal use or external use. Internal means it is to be taken by mouth within the body system, and external means which are applied outside the body surface or in a body cavities. Like we have capsules, granules, effervescent granules, powder, tablet. These are for internal use. Likewise, dusting powder, insufflation, suppositories, pessaries, bogies and plasters. We will discuss in detail in later on, but these are for the external use. If you again classify semi-solid or liquid dosage form, semi-solid means which can be a paste form or a ointment form or jelly form, and liquid which can be poured in a spoon. Internal form like aqua, elixir, emulsion, gel, linctus, mixture, solution, parenteral solution, syrup, tincture. The most of the terminology like aqua or some more tinctures are not much used in a recent scenario, but they are categorized as such. Like external use applications like cream, ear, nose, eye drop, enemas, gargles, irrigations, liniments, lotion, mouthwashes, ointment, paints and pastes. And there are third category which has to be inhaled through a respiratory tract like aerosol, sprays and vitrolase. Vitrolase is replaced by a inhaler only. Like I'll start with the solid dosage form. First I'll take a capsule. If you have seen, there are two type of capsule. One is a two color, one is a green blue or blue red or blue white or whatever it may be, like capsule ampicillin, tetracycline or any other capsule which is solid in form. It to be encapsulated. दो जेलेटिन के बने हुए होते हैं, उसमें एक लॉकिंग सिस्टम होता है, उसमें वो सॉलिड डोज भरी जाती है. ए रिक्वायर्ड अमाउंट ऑफ सॉलिड डोजेज फॉर्म अलॉन्ग विद एडिटिव. जैसा हमने पहली बार बोला, एडिटिव होंगे. लाइक सपोज 1 मिलीग्राम को कैप्सूल है, सो दैट कैन नॉट बी फिल्ड, खाली रहेगा सारा का सारा, और उस जीरो साइज का कैप्सूल भी नहीं आता. तो अलॉन्ग विद द एडिटिव इट शुड बी इनकैप्सुलेटेड. सेकेंड थिंग इज अ सॉफ्ट कैप्सूल्स in which a liquid dosage form or oils or water can be filled, like capsule vitamin A, garlic peels you have seen, 7Cs you have seen, or eye applique in which semi-solid ointment type of formulation can be filled. There are granules, flavoring agents. It is to be mixed with the sugar and all that. It is to be taken as such along with the plenty of water. The most commonly used nowadays in the treatment of tuberculosis is a para-aminosalicylic acid granule, PAS granule, and there are certain granules which give effervescent. You have seen your Eno powder. कुछ नहीं होता उसमें, एक सोडा बाइकार्ब है, स्वीटनिंग एजेंट है, पानी में डाला effervescent है for the immediate relief of acidity. Powders, they are the medicament in a powder and dry form. Dry form में होते हैं वो. Types like a simple powder, simple or compound means, simple means in which one formulation is there, compound is combination of 2-3. Like in earlier days we have to have a APC powder like aspirin, phenacetin and caffeine, but it is now obsoleted. The powder includes in a capsule or sachet like capsule ampicillin or ORS powder, and powder for external use like all your dusting powders or talcum powders. See, next thing is whatever dose is to be administered in an adult one. There is a specific rule, there is a specific pharmacopoeia limit, specific books are there in which it is given that a particular dose to be given twice daily, thrice daily or alternate day, and that is for the adult human being, taken as a account that it is having a 70 kg or 50 kg body weight, normal human being of, and certain drugs which are to be decided according to a body surface area. ऐसा नहीं है कि सबके लिए एक ही ड्रग दी जाती है. जिनका फिजिक ज़्यादा है उसमें कुछ ड्रग है लाइक एंटी कैंसर ड्रग है, इट इज़ टू बी गिवन अकॉर्डिंग टू बॉडी सरफेस एरिया, बट पर्टिकुलरली इन अ चिल्ड्रन इट इज़ टू बी decided according to their age. So there are international formulas like Young's rule, Clark's rule or Freud's rule. They are divided according to their age and the dose can be decided. No, Dr. Sumitra?
Yes, but and this is basically because we cannot give a child the same dose as we are giving it to the adults, because a child of 1 year cannot tolerate the dose which we are giving to an adult of 18 years or 20 years. So the dose has to be calculated according to the age or according to the body weight or according to the surface area. If the because the normal adult dose we are calculating for a adult of about 60 kg, and if that and this the dose we are giving, that is that means it is assimilated in that 60 kgs. But if you are giving it to the child of just 5 kg, means that dose will be a overdose for that child. So we have to reduce the dose, and how much we have to reduce, that we have to use these formulas to calculate the dose for these child. Similarly, if the age is just 5 months child and we have calculated the dose for 20 years adult, so 5 years child will not be able to tolerate this dose, because all his metabolic systems are not fully developed. He will not be able to metabolize the dose. The drug will not be cleared as quickly as from the adult body is. So we have to calculate the dose. We have to reduce the dose for children. So these formulas are for that only. So how much quantity of the drug to be given to the child?
Actually, one must understand that the total dose required for a pediatric patient as well as for the geriatric patient, geriatric means older patient, is different from the adult human being of either gender, whether it's a male or female. But special precaution should be taken before prescribing any drugs, that it should be given to a infants, it should be given to a pediatrics or geriatric patient or a pregnant one or a lactating one. As I told you that certain drugs are excreted in a milk through mammary gland. So those drugs which are excreted through mammary gland, it should be contraindicated in a lactating mother, so that no adverse effect or no any unwanted effect can be produced in infants. Now, after all about the dosage form, whether it is a capsule form or a tablet form or liquid form or ointment form, there are certain guidelines, there are certain act schedule in a drug and pharmaceutical act, that a particular dosage form, it should be packaged in which form, whether the tablet is to be filled in a plastic form or a glass container or in a bottle or a wide mouth bottle or in a sintered glass or in a blue glass or whatever it may be. So packaging of dosage form is again an important part from pharmaceutical point of view as well as from the pharmaceutical industry point of view. So packaging of dosage form is to be in a container, and it is to be defined as a container is a device which hold the article means dosage form, or maybe in a direct contact with the pharmaceutical preparation. Now there are certain features of a containers. What should be the container, what should be their quality? I think Madam Sumitra will highlight what are the features and what are there, briefly about the advantage and a disadvantage be there.
Basically, container is also a very important part when you are giving a dosage form to a patient, because once you have make a tablet or a capsule or a mixture or any dosage form you have prepared, and if it is not reaching to the patient in the same condition, if some kind of changes, any changes, physical, chemical changes occurs, then the dose may not be, then the drug may not be as effective as you wanted it to be. Okay? So that's why the packaging and the containers which we are using, they are also very important. So the main thing is that the container should preserve the quality of your dosage form. If you talk about dosage form, so in case of liquids, it becomes more important. Everything is to be like, if your then container, what type of a container you will select. If your container reacts with your components, then also it is not a good container. So it should not react with your component. It means drug, it should not react with, or it should not take up anything from your product, or it should not give anything to the product. Otherwise your product will be contaminated. And if it is taking something your product, then that means again, if suppose it takes up some drug, the container, you are giving the drug in plastic container or in a glass container, if you have not checked this before putting this particular drug or dosage form in this container, if it takes up the drug itself, then what you are giving to the patient is just liquid only without drug. So that means the container is very important. Moreover, containers, and we always check what type of container we can give, because again the same thing is there, that you have to protect your drug from the environmental effects. Sometimes it may also happen that we have to remove all the air from the container and replace nitrogen, so that no oxidation. Sometimes the drugs are so sensitive to oxidation that we cannot allow even this a very small quantity of air in the container, because that will oxidize the drug, and if the drug is oxidized, that will be not effective as a drug, that will not give any medicinal effect. Okay, so and then again, just now as Dr. Surinder Singh said, ki if it is a very liquid container, you can use a very small mouth container, that will be no problem, you can easily pour it. But if you are giving a thick preparation, then you have to use a wide mouth bottle, because you cannot pour it in a spoon, you have to put the spoon inside to take out the medicament. Okay, similarly the ointments, a different type of container is required. Either we are using the collapsible tubes or we are using the open mouth, wide mouth jars. From that you can easily take out the ointment. So containers are very important for giving this particular dosage form, different type of dosage form to the patient. If we are getting the tablets or the capsule in the form of strip packaging or blister packaging to give protection, to give means you will not be exposing all the tablets at one time. If you need one tablet only, you will just pull out one tablet from your package. So all the other tablets will be protected from the environmental effect. Okay, and one thing, sometimes we are giving single dose containers also, as in case of soft capsules, Dr. Surinder Singh said, we are giving the eye applications also in the form of soft capsules. What happens is, sometimes the eye is also a very sensitive organ, and we want sterilized preparations. Specifically after surgery, we want that the whatever the medicament we are asking the patient to put into the eye, they should be sterile. So we are giving that particular ointment or liquid in the form of a single dose soft capsule. He will just use it once and throw it. No wastage of medicament, no unsterile preparation to be given to the patient. So many criteria are to be considered before we can give a drug into a particular container.
जहाँ तक डॉक्टर सुमित्रा से कंक्लूड हो रहा है, वो ऐसा हो रहा है कि सपोज आपको एक मेडिसिन दी गई, उसमें एक लिखा हुआ है कि दिस बॉक्स कंटेन 100 कैप्सूल्स ऑफ दिस स्ट्रेंथ, मैन्युफैक्चर्ड इन मार्च 2011 and the expiry date is 2014. So it should meet all the requirement that even after within the expiry limit, the medicament should be present in the prescribed limit. कोई कंटामिनेशन नहीं होना चाहिए, कोई डिग्रेडेशन नहीं होना चाहिए, कोई उसकी पोटेंसी पे खराब नहीं होना चाहिए, उसका प्रिजर्वेशन या स्टेरिलाइजेशन लूज नहीं होना चाहिए, और जो मेडिकामेंट जितना भी है उतना मिलना चाहिए, जितना भी फार्माकोपियल लिमिट में है कि प्लस माइनस 5% होना चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाट इज द नटशेल ऑफ द क्वालिटी ऑफ द कंटेनर और द क्वालिटी ऑफ द पैकेजिंग, कि कस्टमर को वही मिले जो उसमें लिखा गया है, एंड इट शुड बी बोल्डली रिटन दैट इसके साथ क्या नहीं लेना है, कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेशन क्या क्या है, इट शुड बी प्रिजर्व एट व्हाट टेम्परेचर, फ्रिज में रखना है, रूम टेम्परेचर पे रखना है, अवॉइड बाई डायरेक्ट सनलाइट और वट एवर इट में, और उस एक्सपायरी के बाद में आपने नहीं खानी है वो, या एक वार्निंग, स्पेशल वार्निंग, इट शुड नॉट बी गिवन टू लैक्टेटिंग मदर और रीच आउट ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन, और आपके पास मत रखिए और इसके साथ मिक्सअप मत कीजिए. और ऐसी भी वार्निंग होती है कि अगर आपको ऐसा लगे कि इसका कलर चेंज हो गया है, so should not be used. Like in a parental solution, if you found any foreign particle, it should not be used. Likewise, this is a top quality of the container that one must be adhered to that. Next is a bioavailability. आपने एक ड्रग दी आदमी को, 100 मिलीग्राम की दी, बट आपके शरीर में कितनी पहुंची हो. शरीर का मतलब है, सपोज यू आर गिविंग टैबलेट, कैप्सूल्स or oral one, it will go to a stomach, it will change to a smaller granules, घुलाई हुई उसकी, उसके बाद एब्जॉर्प्शन हुआ, टिश्यू ने पिकअप किया, टिश्यू के बाद वो ब्लड में आया। जो ब्लड में अवेलेबिलिटी है वो देखनी है बस। सपोज कोई पेशेंट आता है कैजुअलिटी में, उनके रिलेटिव बोलते हैं कि इस लड़के ने जहर खा लिया है। ब्लड टेस्ट किया, ब्लड में कितना जहर है, वो जो जहर बोल रहे हैं, कोई भी कंपोनेंट बोल रहे हैं, ब्लड में कितना है। सो वट एवर द अमाउंट अवेलेबल इन अ ब्लड स्ट्रीम का मतलब सेंट्रल कंपार्टमेंट में, दैट इज कॉल्ड इट एज अ बायो अवेलेबिलिटी। अगर आप इसको डेफिनेशन वाइज दें, द टर्म बायोअवेलेबिलिटी इंडिकेट्स अ मेजरमेंट ऑफ द रेट एंड एक्सटेंट ऑफ एक्टिव ड्रग डिलीवर्ड फ्रॉम द ड्रग प्रोडक्ट, जो आपके टैबलेट कैप्सूल है, दैट रीचेज द जनरल सर्कुलेशन। जनरल सर्कुलेशन मीन्स आपके ब्लड सर्कुलेशन में। अल्टीमेटली जो ड्रग आपका एक्शन देगी वो ब्लड के थ्रू ही देगी। ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर में दर्द है तो सिर को गोली खिलाओ, या पेट में दर्द है तो पेट को पंचर करके दवाई खिलाओ। आपको ब्लड सर्कुलेशन में जानी है, उसके बाद वो एंजाइमेटिक एक्शन से काम करे या पर्टिकुलर रिसेप्टर। अगर आप देखें बॉडी में रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं, लाइक पेन रिसेप्टर है, लाइक वोमिटिंग रिसेप्टर है, ऐसे ऐसे करके। जैसे वोमिटिंग का करूं तो मोडेला ऑब्लोंगेटा के पीछे एक सेंटर होता है, CTZ बोलते हैं जिसको। अगर वो डिप्रेस होगा तो वोमिटिंग बंद हो जाएगी, स्टिमुलेट होगा तो वोमिटिंग हो जाएंगे। तो पॉइजनिंग वाले केस में कुछ ऐसी ड्रग दी जाती है जो उस सेंटर को स्टिमुलेट करे तो मोर वोमिटिंग हो, इस तरह से। एंड जो बायोअवेलेबिलिटी को डील करता है, जो सेक्शन है, जो साइंस है, इट इज कॉल्ड इट एज अ बायोफार्मास्यूटिक्स। इट इज अ ब्रांच ऑफ फार्मास्यूटिकल साइंस which study the relationship between a physicochemical property of a drug in a dosage form and the therapeutic response observed after its administration by any routes, and it deals with the investigator rationality, the influence of factor and influence the therapeutic effectiveness of the drug. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने एक पैरासिटामोल आपने 5 टैबलेट दी, हम पांचों एक्सपर्ट को दी गई तो सेम टाइप का इफेक्ट हमको सबको ऑब्जर्व हो सकता है कि 5 मिनट आधे घंटे मेरा सर दर्द ठीक हो जाए, मैडम का शायद 1 घंटे में ठीक हो। आप बोले कि मेरे को तो वॉमिटिंग आ रही है और आप बोले कि मेरे को तो कुछ नहीं हुआ, पेट में दर्द हो रहा है। सो इट डिपेंड अपॉन द वेरियस फैक्टर्स, पर्सन टू पर्सन, क्लाइमेटिक एंड द अदर फैक्टर। If you just see, these are the factors which are affecting the absorption of drug, lipid solubility and dissociation constant, कितना pH है जो मैंने पहले बात किया था, डिसोल्यूशन कितना डिसॉल्व हो रहा है वो। मार्केट में आपने बोला कि स्टेबिलिटी वाली जो चीज है वो बोली, मार्केट में आने से पहले एक डिसोल्यूशन स्टडी भी होती है। जैसा पेट में फ्लूइड है, मतलब जो हमारा गैस्ट्रिक फ्लूइड है, उसी पीएच का एक मशीन आती है डिसोल्यूशन एपरेटस, वो भी फार्माकोपिया मेंशन है, उसमें एक टैबलेट डाली जाती है और जिस हिसाब से हमारी बॉडी की मूवमेंट है, पेरिस्टाल्टिक मूवमेंट, जो बॉडी की मूवमेंट होती है, पेरिस्टाल्टिक मूवमेंट, जैसे आप खाते हैं मतलब तो वो खाना अपने आप नीचे कैसे जाता है, दिस इज अ पेरिस्टाल्टिक मूवमेंट ऑफ गैस्ट्रोइंटेस्टाइनल ट्रैक्ट। उसी डिसोल्यूशन को करने के लिए एक सॉल्यूशन दिया जाता है, उसी पर्टिकुलर मूवमेंट में वो डिसोल्यूशन किया जाता है टू डिटेक्ट अ पर्टिकुलर ड्रग इट डिसॉल्व इन हाउ मेनी मिनट्स। सपोज वो आधे घंटे में डिसॉल्व हो गई तो इसका मतलब ये है कि आपका इफेक्ट आधे घंटे बाद चालू होगा। सपोज वो सिर्फ कुछ ड्रग होती है जिनका डिसोल्यूशन सिर्फ 5 मिनट में चाहिए हमको, कुछ ड्रग होती है जिनका डिसोल्यूशन हमें सिर्फ 1 मिनट में चाहिए, लाइक सॉर्बिटेट है, एंजाइना में जो जबान के नीचे रखते हैं उनका एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बकल में होता है, बकल एक्टिव, उसका जो एब्जॉर्प्शन है 1 मिनट में हो जाता है, 1 मिनट में उस गोली का काम खत्म हो गया, उसके बाद में दे आर एडवाइज टू स्पीट इट आउट। सो डिसोल्यूशन इज अ इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर। क्रिस्टल फॉर्म, किस पर्टिकुलर क्रिस्टल फॉर्म में टैबलेट है, ड्रग स्टेबिलिटी इन जीआईटी ट्रैक्ट, कोई कॉम्प्लेक्स तो नहीं है ड्रग का, एब्जॉर्प्शन कैसे हो रहा है, विस्कोसिटी कैसी है, सरफेस एक्टिविटी कैसी है उसकी। दीज आर फिजिकोकेमिकल फैक्टर। देयर आर सर्टेन बायोलॉजिकल और फिजिकोकेमिकल फैक्टर लाइक एनाटॉमी एंड फिजियोलॉजी ऑफ जीआईटी। निग्रोज का कुछ और है, एशियन का कुछ और है, अमेरिकन का कुछ और है। GIPH, स्टमक का पीएच कुछ और है, इंटेस्टाइनल का पीएच कुछ और है। गैस्ट्रिक एम्प्टिंग, भूखे पेट है या खा के लिया गया है। कई ड्रग होती हैं लाइक ट्यूबरकुलोसिस में रिफेम्पिसिन आर एडवाइज टू बी टेकन ऑन एम्प्टी स्टमक। लाइकवाइज दी एनाल्जेसिक ड्रग पैरासिटामोल या ब्रूफिन या कुछ भी है, वो एडवाइज किया जाता है खाना खाने के बाद दीजिए कि गैस्ट्रिक कम हो एंड गैस्ट्रोइंटेस्टिनल ब्लड फ्लो। इंटरेक्शन ऑफ द ड्रग, किसी दूसरे के साथ में इंटरेक्शन तो कोई नहीं है। डाइटरी फैक्टर, वेदर इट इज अ हर्बीवोरस मतलब वेजिटेरियन खाने वाला है या नॉन वेजिटेरियन खाने वाला है या साउथ इंडियन है, कैसा है, इट आल्सो अफेक्ट डिग्रेडेशन एंड मेटाबॉलिज्म इन जीआईटी एक्टिविटी एंड गैस्ट्रोइंटेस्टाइनल एबनॉर्मेलिटी। कोई ऐसा तो नहीं है उसको अल्सर है या हमेशा उसको कॉन्स्टिपेशन रहता है या हमेशा उसको दस्त लगे रहते हैं। सो देयर आर सर्टेन फैक्टर्स विच अफेक्ट द एब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ ए पर्टिकुलर ड्रग। देयर आर सर्टेन फार्मास्यूटिकल प्रिपरेशन, जो फार्मास्यूटिकल प्रिपरेशन आपकी है उस पर इफेक्ट पड़ता है। डोजेज फॉर्म, वेदर इट इज अ कैप्सूल, लाइक एक एस्प्रिन प्लेन आती है, एक डिस्प्रिन आती है, हाईली डिस्पर्सेबल, 2 मिनट के अंदर डिसॉल्व होकर चली जाती है। एंड प्रोसेसिंग वेरिएबल कि किस टाइप से फॉर्मुलेशन आपने, डोजेज फॉर्म I told you in the initial one is a solid dosage form, another is a liquid dosage form, and third one is a inhalation dosage form. These are the pressurized pack which contain a drug in a solution or emulsion or in a suspension along with a suitable propellant. जैसे आपका परफ्यूम वाला होता है उसमें एक प्रोपेलेंट होता है, परफ्यूम का आपका स्मेल वाला पोर्शन होता है, अल्कोहल होता है, वो स्प्रे करे। ऐसे ही ड्रग में भी एक ड्रग होगी जो पाउडर फॉर्म में भी हो सकती है, इमल्शन भी हो सकता है, सिरप वो सस्पेंशन भी हो सकता है। उसके साथ एक प्रोपेलेंट है जो प्रेशराइज करके आपके मुंह में के लिए भी होता है और एक्सटर्नली भी होता है। लाइक मुंह के लिए आपने एस्थलीन सुने होंगे, एस्थलीन इनहेलर है फॉर अस्थमा। फॉर एक्सटर्नल यूज ऑल योर रैली स्प्रे, मेडी स्प्रे पेन के लिए या फॉर लोकल एनेस्थेटिक प्रॉपर्टी, and they are the most commonly used for their systemic effect in the treatment of asthma and osteoporosis and as well as for local pain and pain.
Now, these aerosols, as Dr. Saab said, they are pressurized bag, as your perfume containers and all that. Here, the formulation is a bit different, that we are using a system of propellant to propel out the drug. And in case of perfumes, you are not getting a metered dose. A specific quantity of the perfume you are not getting. You are just pushing the valve once and getting whatever quantity is coming. But in case of these medicated aerosols, we have metered valves. Metered valves will be able to give you a specific dose at one time. Okay, but why we are making the drugs, or why we are giving the drugs in the form of aerosols? As I said, capsules are also good, tablets are also good. What is the added advantage of aerosol is, number one is that when you are giving the drug in the form of aerosols, you are bypassing the liver. Liver is the metabolizing system of our body. So whole of the drug will be reaching at the site in the undestructive form. Means the whole of the drug which we are giving, or by inhalation or by spraying, that will be reaching at the site in the full amount, that will be reaching, that will not be destroyed. Whenever we give the drug by GIT, it is affected by the acid of the stomach, then it is metabolized in the liver. So a very small amount of the drug reaches the blood circulation. But in case of aerosols, whatever the quantity you are giving, that will be reaching at the site. If you are using it externally, suppose externally you are using the aerosols, then another advantage, if you have to apply a ointment on the skin, then you have to rub it. But when you are using a aerosol, you don't have to rub it, just spray it over the area. So suppose a burn is there on the skin, if you are applying the ointment, it is very painful for the patient. But if you are spraying it, then you are not using your hand to apply it, then it is less painful. Of course, in aerosol system also, when the propellant evaporates, it gives a very cool feeling. So sometimes that suits a patient also. Okay. Then another thing is, you can use a small quantity of drug, means lesser quantity of drug compared to the conventional dosage forms. As I said, the whole of the drug you are giving, that is reaching the particular site you are saying you want it to reach. Okay, so lesser quantity of drug you are giving If lesser quantity of drug you are giving, then toxic effect of the drug will also be less. Okay, so that is another advantage. And suppose you are giving aerosol by inhalation and you want the action on the bronchioles, so a very high concentration of the drug will be reaching in the bronchioles. If the same drug you are giving in the form of tablets, a smaller quantity of the drug will reach bronchioles, and in that case, in that form of tablets, you have to add more drug so that the this quantity of the drug that reaches the particular site, that is comparable to produce the therapeutic effect. Okay, so these are some of the advantages of aerosols. That's why so many drugs we are giving in the form of aerosols nowadays, for quicker action and more efficient action.
Next important one is among the dosage form are the parenterals, like which are the formulation other than the oral routes or given by the injection, and there are specific guidelines for the preparation, for the packaging, for the manufacturing of a parenterals. They should be sterile, they should be pyrogen free, and it should be packed in a sterilized container. There are certain disadvantages and advantages of using parenteral form. Like oral administration have certain advantages, means merit and demerit. Like oral will take more time to produce action, so it cannot be used in an emergency condition. Oral administration cannot be done in an unconscious patient or in a vomiting stage. Parenteral injection can be given to a unconscious patient, to a pediatric patient, or uncooperative patient also, which cannot take medicine by oral route. But the greatest disadvantage of parenteral one is it needs a specific expert person which can administer drug by injection route. It need a sterile area, it need a sterile instrument, that is a injection formulation. And if the physician feel just after administration that I have injected a wrong medicine, it cannot be treated, it cannot be go back. This is the greatest disadvantage of a parenteral administration.
like, एक मिनट, आपने ये पेरेंटल की बात की, अगर ये हम कैप्सूल की या उसकी बात करते हैं टैबलेट में, मगर ये केस फिर भी रहेगा।
कैप्सूल और टैबलेट डिसॉल्व होने में आधा घंटा लगा रही है, पता चला वॉमिट करवा सकते हैं, सब कुछ करवा सकते हैं। इंजेक्शन तो डायरेक्ट सर्कुलेशन में गया, सपोज एक इंट्रावीनस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन हो रहा है जो डायरेक्ट सर्कुलेशन में जा रहा है, वो तो देयर इज नो रोल बैक। दिस वन आपको एक्सपर्ट ओपिनियन, हर एक कोई आईवी नहीं लगा सकता,
हर एक कोई इंजेक्शन नहीं लगा।
फायदा ये है कि इमरजेंसी में काम आता है, अनकॉन्शियस वाले, अनकोऑपरेटिव, वॉमिटिंग जिनको हो रखा है उनको चला जाएगा।
एंड अनस्टेबल ड्रग्स होती हैं जीआईटी में,
टैबलेट कितनी दे देंगे? यू कैन नॉट गिव 500 टैबलेट ना, एक बार नहीं दे सकते आप। इंजेक्शन रूट से 4 बाल्टी दवाई चढ़ा सकते हैं। कीप ऑन। आप कुछ ऐसे प्रोडक्ट हैं जो ब्लड मुंह से नहीं चढ़ा सकते, लाइक ब्लड, उसके लिए पेरेंटल पे ही आपको डिपेंड करना पड़ेगा। मतलब I think this parental products have to go pass through certain tests according to pharmacopoeia. One is a sterility test, one must be sterile. Pyrogen test does not contain any pyrogen. Clarity test, it should not contain any foreign particle. Leakage test, it should not be leakage. If anything, any container found leakage, that means its sterilization is finished. Next one is a ophthalmic product. Again, I think madam has narrated this. The eye is a very sensitive part of the body, and it must require a sterilized formulation to be instilled in a eye. So, like eye drop or aqueous solution or suspension, they must be sterile. Like in other body cavities, like nose and ear and other cavity, need not to be sterile. But for eye, it must be sterile. The preparation of the eye drop requires some special property with regard to sterility, preservation and isotonicity. Buffering, कितना pH होना चाहिए, कितना isotonic होना चाहिए, viscosity, कितना वो गाढ़ा होना चाहिए, clarity होना चाहिए, surface activity होनी चाहिए, bioavailability होनी चाहिए with the aqueous humor, and packaging should be there. Formulation come up in a market like probiotic. it is nothing but there are certain intestinal disorders such as antibiotic based diarrhea and inflammatory bowel disease. So lactic acid bacillus are incorporated for the treatment of H. pylori infections. This is the combination of a diarrheal infections caused by H. pylori. So lactic acid bacillus which is rich in a curd, so it is categorized as a probiotic. आजकल देखे होंगे दही भी probiotic वाली आ गई है. Next one is a medical devices and implants. I request Dr. Khalid Khan to just narrate what are medical devices and how it is controlled.
Medical devices are actually the devices which are made up of the inococcus material, which may be chemical or which may not be chemical, which is especially designed to achieve a particular disorders, the correction in a disorders, or which is designed to achieve a particular treatment, we can say that, in a human body, or correction of a particular deformity in the human body. The medical devices in India had been very recently regulated. It had been regulated since 2006 onward. Before that, there was no regulation on medical devices in India, and initially the government of India thought of regulating only the 10 major categories of the medical devices. For example, the hypodermic needle and sutures were earlier under the regulation, but in 2006 the medical devices which came under the regulations were drug-eluting stents, cardiac stents, heart valves, then all kinds of catheters, intraocular implants, and all kind of orthopedic implants. These are the various types of the medical devices which are critical in nature, which are very, very important for the in our healthcare industry, and whose requirement is increasing day by day. The basic difference about the medical devices and the pharmaceutical product are that a pharmaceutical product achieve its efficacy or safety because of its chemical nature, whereas medical device achieve its functionality because of its design and size. These are the two major difference. And another difference is that all the medical devices usually used to be sterilized. One of the major difference is also that all the medical devices, they normally used to be sterilized, whereas only the parenteral products and the pharmaceutical products, means injectable product, they used to be sterilized. So this is also one of the major differences. And the shelf life in medical device product are actually calculated from the day the product are sterilized, from that day onward.
हाँ साहब, ये shelf life के बारे में बताएंगे, what is shelf life?
You see, shelf life is shelf life of any product is the life of that product which is there in the shelf, means that product has to be that product has to be efficacious and safe, and if in case of medical device must perform its function within that period of time. That is known as the shelf life. Shelf life means the product life in which the product is active and it can perform the function for which it is designed for, whether it is a pharmaceutical product or whether it is a medical device product. So this is we call it a shelf life. Shelf life normally used to be the shortest for the biological product, for a large molecule like insulin or like some peptides or some vaccines, whereas in case of a medical device or some of the drugs which are chemical based drugs, the shelf life used to be maximum up to 5 years, and beyond 5 years the shelf life is not there. I have not seen any products whose shelf life is more than 5 years old.
I would like to thank Dr. Surendra Singh and Madam Sumitra Yadav for a very useful appraisal of all the various units. They have really comprised it very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.